Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nate and this is Nate's Vintage Trains. This video will be part 1 of my very long trip I took, about 4 weeks in total, to a number of places in the east. I'll have a playlist set up for that and I'll post one video each week, so please do subscribe, at least like this video, and make sure you don't miss a thing. But without any further ado, let's take the Amtrak from Barstow to Kansas City on the Southwest Chief. We leave from the Barstow Harvey House at about 10 p.m. You can check out my video about the station as well as the Railway Museum there in the description. But since it was so late, we're leaving at 10 o'clock or so in the evening, it was just time to go to bed, and we woke up in Arizona, about a bit east of Winona, nearing Holbrook. The route follows Route 66 from Los Angeles to Albuquerque, then it heads north through Colorado from there. And we pass through Holbrook, which is where the junction of the Apache Railway is.
Stops here, but I have been here before. Ooh, train station.
We continue on the BNSF Southern Transcon, which has many fast freights, going at speed in opposite directions from the train. Man, that's a sight to see, to have those containers just go whizzing by, as well as any other freight cars. Before crossing into New Mexico, we have breakfast. I had the 3-egg omelet, which had a number of nice sides with it, a croissant and some potatoes, to name some. While on the trip, I brought some reading material with me, including The Story of the Santa Fe by Glenn D. Bradley. It's only appropriate on this train.
Welcome to New Mexico.
The train stops in Gallup, and eventually we make it to Albuquerque.
So for this trip, I downloaded, besides the Amtrak app, a speedometer app so I could actually check the speed of the train. Speed update, 89 miles an hour.
As we go along on this journey, I'm going to tell you a bit of history about the railway, the Santa Fe, as well as the named passenger trains. The Atchison and Topeka Railway was chartered in 1859 to build to its namesake cities within the state of Kansas. Later it would be renamed the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe and extended towards Santa Fe, New Mexico. It would generally follow the route of the Santa Fe Trail most of the way there. They reached Colorado in 1873 and then to Pueblo, Colorado in 1876. Santa Fe, New Mexico would be bypassed due to difficult terrain, and a branch line would serve it with a junction at Lamy, New Mexico, which we shall see. The Santa Fe would acquire many railroads over the years, which would be leased or merged into the system. The Pacific Ocean would be reached at San Diego in 1885, and later Los Angeles in 1887. The line was completed to Chicago in 1888, and passenger service began as soon as the line was completed.
We're coming up on Albuquerque. Next stop in just a few minutes. 2926 is here, but when I came here I wasn't able to see it because they were closed that day, darn it. So, maybe we could actually see something this time around. We'll find out. Should be able to at least see the spur that connects to it. I know it's pretty loud.
Also, we're in New Mexico Rail Runner territory, using the same tracks. Of course, BNSF too, so there's a few things to see along here. Going through Albuquerque, you will see the Santa Fe's old Albuquerque shops. Massive facility, mostly abandoned. The Albuquerque shops were built between 1915 and 1925. By the 1950s, traffic was declining and dieselization was coming very soon. So the shops were eventually closed, but used as maintenance facilities as a car shop until the 1980s. But since then, they have been mostly abandoned. However, they were used for storage of the Santa Fe Railway's vintage equipment collection, which was for a proposed museum on the Santa Fe Railway that never came to be, and all the equipment would be donated to other railway museums. At Albuquerque Station, everyone has a chance to get out, stretch their legs, regular smoke break for anyone who wants it. And also there's enough time for people to go to a market that's nearby if they want to pick up any food or other provisions for the rest of the train trip. After Albuquerque and seeing the New Mexico Rail Runner, we head north towards Lamy, which is a junction with the Santa Fe Southern Railway. But before Lamy, it was time for lunch. The burger was pretty good. So we're currently on a single track just east of Kiwa, New Mexico. We're on the same tracks as the New Mexico Rail Runner operates, and it's about to split off here soon. The old right-of-way.
Oh shoot. I almost fell down the stairs.
And there's the tracks to Santa Fe on the Rail Runner.
Wow.
Those go north. Lamy, New Mexico. Junction for the Santa Fe Southern Railroad.
And ladies and gentlemen, this time we are now arriving at New Mexico. Ladies and Mexico, we are now arriving. Ladies and gentlemen, Lamy is your destination. Come exit at this time.
Let's see what equipment they have. Those very gaudy locomotives, I remember. Baggage car, coach, bulkhead flat, caboose, boxcar, another flat car, combine car. Lamy Station. That's an old reefer. Coach. Oh, there's those locomotives. Good grief. After Lamy, we should be passing the westbound number 3 train. This used to be a junction for the Santa Fe to go to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Also here is an old business car. Soon enough, it's about to get quite interesting with the scenery. I don't know what that was about. Then through a narrow canyon up to Glorieta Pass. Yep, Glorieta Pass, New Mexico. Gaining elevation, the scenery gets very green, and then we get to Las Vegas, New Mexico. Northern New Mexico is beautiful. This is a horseshoe bend right here.
I'm only in the third car and I can see the locomotives. Oh, this is a tight turn. You see both ends of the train. Las Vegas, New Mexico. I missed the roundhouse, darn it.
The train stays fairly flat up to Raton, New Mexico after Las Vegas. Elk in New Mexico. Oh boy, those are something. Raton, New Mexico. Last stop in New Mexico. Next is Colorado. The mountains are climbing more and more in elevation up to Raton Pass. Once we're at the pass, we go under it through a tunnel and descend into Trinidad, Colorado. There was a sign that said Raton Tunnel. Oh, here it is. While we start heading down into Trinidad, here's a little more history about the passenger trains. The first named train from Chicago to Los Angeles was the California Limited, which operated from 1892 to 1954. Serving passengers the whole way were the Fred Harvey Company's restaurants, later diner cars. The famous Harvey houses were a staple of the Santa Fe's passenger services. Also famous for the movie The Harvey Girls, starring Judy Garland. Other named trains running the same route from Chicago to LA on their main line included the Scout, the Chief, the Grand Canyon Limited, the famous Super Chief, the San Francisco Chief, and the El Capitan. The last service would be the Super Chief in 1974. Amtrak was formed in 1971, renaming it the Southwest Chief, which still operates today, and that's the train I am taking. Before getting down into Trinidad, it's time for dinner. It's a 3-course meal, appetizer, entree, and dessert. The steak, I could not recommend it more. Trinidad has a Colorado and Southern steam locomotive, as well as the next town, La Junta, has a Santa Fe railway locomotive. But after La Junta, it gets a little bit late, so it's time to go to bed once again, and we'll wake up in Lawrence, just near Topeka, ready to get off the train in Kansas City. After Trinidad, we meet up with the complement Southwest Chief number 4, heading westbound.
Just do some of my Bible reading and good night. See you in the morning. Here at Kansas City, that's the Missouri River Runner. That's the train I was just on.
that'll be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe so you don't miss next week's video, a tour of Union Station, a visit to Santa Fe Junction, and, as always, this is Nate's Vintage Trains. Keep it old school, Jesus loves you, and God bless you all.